A 24-year-old girl from San Diego vanished in Houston, Texas, in April 2022. She had traveled to Houston in search of work. Later, after 10 long months, on February 7, 2023, her remains were found by a TxDOT worker in the Sam Houston National Forest.
Creepy.
She lives at the edge of the Sam Houston National Forest.
Sometimes there's garbage bags where people dump stuff like that out, but oh gosh, it's probably been 30, 40 years since we heard of them finding anybody else up there.
This is the heartbreaking story of Felicia Johnson, a 24-year-old Californian woman who went missing after traveling to Houston in search of a job. Felicia had been in contact with a man named Chukwuebuka Nwobodo, age 28, whom she met on an online escort website. Tragically, after meeting him at his apartment, Felicia vanished without a trace. Nearly a year later, her remains were found in the Sam Houston National Forest by a TxDOT worker, bringing a devastating close to the long search for her. Hello and welcome to Truth in Crime Case Files. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories. Before getting into the video, we want to take a moment to express our deepest condolences to Felicia Johnson's father, Kevin Johnson, and her family. No words can truly ease the pain of losing a daughter, but our thoughts and prayers are with them as they continue their search for justice and healing.
They release her, then I will be able to have a service for her and pay her the respects that she needs.
Today's episode is based in Houston, Texas. This is the case of Felicia Johnson, who was the daughter of Kevin Johnson. Tragically, she was brutally killed by a man she met on an online dating site.
A father believes the remains of his daughter, who went missing nearly a year ago, may have been found.
And today, investigators tell us they were back out at a site in Montgomery County where remains were found earlier this week.
Felicia traveled to Houston in search of work. Houston is not only the largest city in the state but also the fourth largest in the U.S., with a population of over 2.3 million people, known for its diverse culture and booming energy sector. Houston has a long and varied history when it comes to crime. The city's location near the Mexican border has contributed to its challenges with drug trafficking, gang violence, and smuggling. Despite being a hub for economic prosperity, particularly in the energy sector, the city has grappled with violent crime rates, though recent years have seen fluctuating trends. In response, law enforcement agencies have implemented numerous community outreach programs and enhanced technological tools to combat criminal activity and improve public safety. Felicia Johnson was born in San Diego, California, where she spent much of her childhood. Known for her loving and caring nature, Felicia was described as a friendly and outgoing young woman who had a passion for helping others. She had dreams of pursuing opportunities in various fields, including modeling and entertainment. On April 13, 2022, she traveled to Houston in search of new opportunities and was determined to build a better future for herself. It is not particularly mentioned from where she finished her high school, but she loved her family and wanted more in life. Her family members said Felicia is a beautiful young lady. She's very smart, very intelligent, and she's the life of the party. Few days before she went to Houston, Felicia celebrated her 24th birthday with her family members on April 10th, where she spent some quality time with them. Little did anyone know that it would be her last birthday celebration. On April 13th, she traveled to Houston and, just 2 days later, applied for a job at CoverGirl's nightclub, an adult entertainment venue. Felicia was reportedly seeking work as an exotic dancer. Police later discovered online advertisements featuring her picture on various sex worker websites, including one posted on a site called Skip the Game shortly before her disappearance. Felicia was in contact with a man named Chukwuebuka Nwobodo, age 28, whom she met through an online escort service. He had agreed to pay her $500 for an in-person meeting. On April 16th at 2:56 a.m., Felicia Johnson was last seen at the Intercontinental Hotel in the medical center. She got into an Uber that, according to the Houston Police Department, was ordered by Chukwuebuka Nwobodo. Detectives revealed that he responded to an advertisement Johnson had placed online for that night after applying to the adult club. The Uber took Felicia to Nwobodo's old address on the 3200 block of Windchase Boulevard in the Westchase area of Houston, Texas. This area is marked by its residential neighborhoods, commercial properties, and various amenities, including parks and shopping centers. From there, he picked her up and took her to his new apartment on South Richmond Avenue. This apartment became significant in the investigation into Felicia Johnson's disappearance, as it was the last known location where she was seen. After 3 days, she reached to the Houston, Felicia's family members tried to contact her but did not hear from her, so they became worried and reported her missing to the police department. They also hired a private investigator who was able to start investigating right away. Investigators discovered Felicia's cell phone by pinging it at Bear Creek's Pioneers Park near Highway 6 Clay Road, about 25 miles away from the club. The phone was covered in blood. Felicia's dad flew from California to Houston to help with the massive search that was on the way.
Looking for Felicia Johnson. Today they searched an area of interest at Bear Creek Pioneers Park, which is right around the location where Johnson's family says her phone was found.
So the Cover Girls nightclub right here behind me was the last place where Felicia Johnson was last seen. Now Houston police tell us that detectives returned back here to this area, and her father is hoping that the surveillance video from inside the building will reveal who left with his daughter.
I don't know where my baby is or what's being done to her.
Kevin Johnson says his daughter Felicia was at the Cover Girls nightclub off of West Little York on Friday, April 15th.
When her phone was found by a private investigator, the authorities were notified, leading to a more formal investigation by the Houston Police Department. The discovery of her phone, which was found near Bear Creek Pioneers Park, provided evidence, including data that could help trace her movements leading up to her disappearance.
We want the suspect to know that the no snitch policy will never protect you in our community, that we're coming for you, we're looking for you, and we'll leave no stone unturned in trying to find out your whereabouts. But at the end of the day, we want this brother to know we will not rest until you're held accountable for this crime. And this was a wicked crime, and a crime against women, and a crime against humanity.
Cops analyzed the phone's contents for any communications or clues, reviewing surveillance footage from nearby locations, and interviewing potential witnesses. They found that Johnson was seen on hotel surveillance camera leaving around 3 a.m. and getting in an Uber ordered for her by Nuobodo, which the company's records allegedly reflect was to take her to a Windchase Boulevard apartment complex where Nuobodo had lived between 2017 and 2020. They also worked to track down Chukwuebuka Nuobodo, who had been in contact with Felicia prior to her disappearance. A $5,000 reward was also offered by the Crime Stoppers of Houston for information that leads to an arrest when the FBI joined the effort to locate Felicia. The investigators were looking for a man named Nuobodo had ordered the Uber for her, and they started tracking her movement from there. They discovered that after she was picked up from his old address, they drove to his new address, and an hour later his car is seen on surveillance video footage leaving the complex. Evidence indicates Nuobodo killed Johnson inside his apartment before disposing of her personal effects in Bear Creek Pioneers Park, said police. It is believed he disposed of Johnson's body at some point within the next few days. On April 16th and 17th, Nuobodo is seen on surveillance footage with a bandage wrap on his right hand while at Walmart, where he bought trash bags, a flashlight, and towels. According to court documents, he also purchased a mechanical saw from Walmart and Home Depot. An hour later, his car is seen on surveillance video leaving the complex, and at 5:12 a.m., Johnson's phone connects with a cell tower near where her family finds her phone in Bear Creek Park later that day.
She's a victim of foul play. We need help in finding her.
Johnson's family fearing the worst.
Nuobodo seemed to vanish from sight, evading authorities while they were looking for him. He had not yet been officially charged. But luck for the police, during a routine traffic stop, Nuobodo was taken into custody. Though he was not charged officially following the stop and was released, law enforcement officers seized a cell phone found in his front pocket. This crucial piece of evidence could hold key information related to Felicia's last known moments and her interactions leading up to her tragic disappearance. As the investigation into Felicia Johnson's disappearance progressed, authorities analyzed the cell phone seized from Chukwuebuka Nuobodo during a traffic stop. Court documents said shocking details. The phone contained a photograph of a dismembered female body, along with additional images of 3 unidentified deceased individuals. Disturbingly, there was no metadata associated with these haunting photographs, raising further questions about their origin and connection to Felicia's case. The next 2 days, HPD said receipts show Nuobodo took out money and purchased supplies, including towels and trash bags. His internet searches included things like most forested part of Houston. On April 20th, investigators said internet searches connected to Nuobodo's Gmail account shows he searched, "Can bleach or vinegar could destroy DNA?" Several days later, on April 27th, Nuobodo's account searched, "How to delete your history completely." The next day, he searched for multiple ways on how to get away with murder. Nuobodo also looked up 15 cheapest places to live in the world. Later on May 3rd, Nuobodo's account searched, Can police check the phone records of a missing person? And can police unlock a phone during an investigation? Court records state that Nwobodo searched how to delete your history completely a week after that, as well as the cheapest places in the world to live on a $1,000 per month budget. He also looked up how does one plan a murder without getting caught and how to get away with murder. On the basis of these evidence, that Felicia was last seen with him and that he was searching for these creepy things after her disappearance. Nwobodo was officially charged with the murder of Felicia Johnson. On May 13th, a probable cause arrest warrant was issued for Nwobodo, along with search warrants for his car and home. Police pulled Nwobodo over and allegedly found blood in the trunk and back seat of his vehicle, which also contained a handgun, loose latex gloves, a shovel, and a large kitchen knife with blood on it, according to court documents. During the search of his home, investigators also found apparent blood stains throughout the residence, and especially large amounts on the bedroom and hallway floors. Those stains were allegedly determined to be a probable match for Johnson's DNA.
Uncovered some new information in the murder of Felicia Johnson.
Nearly 2 months since she was last seen, her remains still have not been found. Now new court documents show how investigators linked a suspect to her murder.
The outcome that no one wanted, and the gruesome details in the new charging documents accuse the suspect of doing extensive research to try and cover up her murder.
Documents are revealing shocking and gruesome details about the murder and disappearance of 24-year-old Felicia Johnson. She vanished in April.
Investigators found another evidence against Nwobodo Memorial Hermann Hospital, Texas's documents indicating that he had received treatment for a cut on his right hand at a local clinic. When questioned, he claimed the injury was a result of opening boxes, a false statement by him. This detail became a focal point in the investigation, suggesting that Nwobodo's actions on that fateful day may have been more significant than he let on. Felicia Johnson has still not been found. Felicia Johnson's father, Kevin Johnson, created a GoFundMe page to raise funds so that he can continue to stay in Texas and search for his daughter. Our family is forced to be separated in this most trying time, and I will stay in Texas as long as I can to ensure everything is being done to find Felicia, Mr. Johnson wrote. Our family is not complete without her. I have never felt such a sense of helplessness in my life. Johnson was a black woman with black hair and brown eyes, according to police. She is 5 feet 4 inches and weighs 150 pounds, and has a large tattoo of a butterfly and roses on her right shoulder. Felicia is a beautiful young lady both inside and out, her father wrote on the GoFundMe campaign. She turned 24 with so much more to learn and enjoy from this life. She aspires to succeed in the hair, makeup, and modeling industry. On February 7, 2023, 10 months after Felicia Johnson's disappearance, a worker from the TxDOT was performing routine maintenance in a wooded area near Flamingo Lakes and Highway 149 when he found some human remains along with some woman's jewelry. Montgomery County detectives and investigators responded and arrived at the scene. Upon examining the remains, authorities confirmed they were indeed human. The investigation quickly escalated as samples were collected for DNA and dental record analysis, aiming to identify the remains and determine their connection to the ongoing case. According to the sheriff's office, it is with a heavy heart that the report and dental records have confirmed that the human remains are that of missing person Felicia Johnson of California, the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office said in a statement. Our hearts go out to the Johnson family and friends, and we hope this brings them some closure. The reason why her body has been found is so that she can return to get justice for herself, her father Kevin Johnson said, per the outlet. This is the first piece of the puzzle that is going to allow law enforcement to do their job and bring these guys to justice.
The justice of the peace there told us tonight he was on scene Tuesday when skeletal remains were found along with a trash bag that's now been collected as evidence.
As of the latest updates in Felicia Johnson's tragic case, Chukwuebuka Nwobodo, the prime suspect charged with her murder, remains at large. Despite the relentless pursuit by law enforcement, Nwobodo has managed to evade capture, adding to the heartbreak felt by Felicia's family and the community. Investigators have followed several leads, yet Nwobodo's whereabouts remain unknown, causing deep frustration and fear that justice may continue to be delayed. Felicia's family continues to hold out hope for resolution, but the uncertainty has left a lasting emotional toll on those who loved her. The Houston Police Department and other authorities have not given up on their mission to bring Nwobodo to justice. They have urged the public to remain vigilant, stressing that any small tip or piece of information could be crucial in tracking him down. Authorities have emphasized the importance of community involvement in this ongoing investigation. They encourage anyone with information on Nwobodo's whereabouts to come forward, and have provided 2 key contact points: the Houston Police Department Homicide Division at 713-308-3600 and Crime Stoppers at 713-222-8477. With public cooperation, the hope is that justice for Felicia Johnson will finally be served, and Nwobodo will be brought to answer for his actions. As we reflect on the heartbreaking case of Felicia Johnson, we continue to hold out hope that her murderer will soon be brought to justice. Our heartfelt condolences extend to her friends and family during this incredibly challenging time. The pain of losing someone in such a tragic and senseless manner is unimaginable, and we stand with them as they navigate their grief and seek answers. May Felicia's memory be a source of strength and solace for those who knew and loved her, a lasting reminder of her kind spirit, her vibrant life, and her unwavering determination to build a future for herself. In the face of such a devastating loss, her family, friends, and the community have rallied together, holding on to the hope that her life will continue to inspire others to push for justice, to protect the vulnerable, and to ensure that no other family has to endure such unimaginable pain. Her untimely death must not be in vain. It is a tragedy that cries out for change, for a world where those who commit such terrible acts are swiftly brought to justice. It should fuel a call to action, one that demands accountability, reform, and stronger protections for women and all survivors of violence. Felicia's story underscores the importance of systemic change, ensuring that law enforcement and society as a whole provide the necessary resources, support, and vigilance to prevent further tragedies. Let her story serve as a beacon, a turning point in how we approach these issues, shining a light on the need for justice and for a society that stands united against all forms of violence. We must continue to fight, not just for Felicia, but for every life that has been lost to violence and injustice. Her legacy must be one of empowerment, advocacy, and change. As we close today's story, we urge everyone to remain vigilant, to look out for one another, and to never stop seeking justice for those who can no longer speak for themselves. Thank you for joining us today. We hope Felicia's story serves as a reminder of the strength in community and the power of justice. We look forward to seeing you in the next video, as we continue to honor the memories of those we have lost, fight for the truth, and seek justice for all.